Giving you story after story, everything is true. Some things are kinda scary, so what you gonna do? Cause that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes we spit scripture, line upon line, not discussing wickedness, but what is divine. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tales from the Sipp. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tales from the Sipp. Episode 72. Yeah. My testimony, part self. Okay. Now, I'm down there. I had mentioned about I'm down there, what I'm saying, getting the beer out the stove, going toward Yazoo City, about to go home. Okay. Boom. Police pulled me over. Guess what happened? Police pulled me over, put me in the car. Hey man, DUI. I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to be, what I'm saying, just make it to the house. See, yay, it worked out the way I wanted. So the police put me in the car. Car sitting there, man. They towed the car. They take me to Canton jail because it was down there in Madison. I was in Madison County, down there in Florida, when they pulled me over. So they took me to Madison County Jail, which is in Canton. You know what I'm saying? That jail is crazy too, man. Man, in that Canton jail, man, in Madison, you're gonna see at least 3 fights a day. And I was on the nice side of the prison. I was on the nice side of the jail. But it was at least 3 fights a day over there where I was. Man, you hear it all day long in that jail. Nigga fight. You know what I'm saying? Nigga bumping up against the wall. You know what I'm talking about? Nut. You know what I'm saying? Throwing these things. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to what I was saying, chasing rabbits. So the police, they took me to jail, right? Took me to jail, and they was nice for some reason. They told me, hey man, I had my cell phone, you know what I'm saying? I said, man, can I call my old girl, man, you know what I'm saying? Tell her come get me and all this and that, blah, blah, blah. They said, yeah, go ahead, man. So they let me use my cell phone. I called her, you know what I'm saying? And then, I called her and she said, hey, Most High said, you gotta get yourself together because you know what I'm saying, blah, 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 and blah, blah. I'm like, why she talking like this? So I get out to the jail, get locked up, and I was in there for 3 days. They locked me up on Friday. It was on Friday night. And so I was in there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I got out. 3 days I was in there. You get locked up on a Friday night, you ain't getting out. It might have been a Saturday that I was locked up. So, but anyway, I know I was locked up for 3 days. So you go up in there, then down there in Canton, that Canton jail in Madison County, you know what I'm saying? They spray some stuff on you, man. Make sure it's weird, man. And then you take a shower, go up in there, and go up in the cell. So the whole 3 days I was in there, man, I used to sit up there. It really, I used to always talk about the scripture, you know what I'm saying, while I was locked up. Even if I ain't locked up, I just couldn't stop talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about the scripture and stuff. And here you go. some niggas up in here. There was one nigga in there, man. This what tripped me out by him. He kept playing with a little white boy, man. This nigga from Jackson, you know what I'm saying? He was screaming the same thing I was screaming, you know what I'm saying? He was about the same thing I was. You know what I'm saying? On that I ain't gonna even say what that is, but he was the same thing I was, you know, far as gang politics. And then he kept playing with the little white boy, man, you know, like he like, hey man, such such locked up in here too. You know, post nigga that supposed to have a lot of rank, you know what I'm saying? But you know, in the organization that we were a part of, you know what I'm saying? And I knew the cat, you know what I'm saying? I know them for years. So I'm like, man, oh, okay. Then he kept playing with the white boy. I'm like, hey, what this nigga doing? You violating, man. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, you know, I just like messing with him, you know, blah, 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 blah. Kept playing with the white boy, man, like he gonna rape him or something, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, man, I'm not going for that, man. You ain't finna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's you violate, man. So we sitting up in there, man, and then he sitting up here, kept on doing that, man. And so he's sitting there tapping on, playing with all this neck. He never, you know, did nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I ain't do nothing. Cause if he would have, you know what I'm saying, I was gonna straighten him about it. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing happened. Then it was like I said, it was a fight broke out in that cell at least, you know, 3 times a day. And beyond popular belief, what I was and what that nigga was, we were the only two niggas in that cell that was representing what we represent. Okay, well, we were representing Vice Lord. You know what I'm saying? And we was in the cell with number of GDs. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Canton. But, you know, because I knew certain people that I knew, and nobody had no problem with me because I was sitting around talking about, you know, the Bible and all this and that, even though I didn't live by it. But that was in my heart, though. You know what I'm saying? Some of it I live by, but you know what I'm saying? That whole, man, there was number GDs over there. So, and this nigga, he vice lord, but he over there violate. He like he, you know, rape a white boy or something. You know, I don't know what he had on his mind. He ain't do it, but you know, I'm just saying. And thing is, so we sitting up here, man, and I'm standing there. Man, quit chasing rabbits, man. Let me get to the point. When I was in there, and I was in there for 3 days, 3 whole days. And then the story of Jonah, one that last day, I was sitting up in there and I praying to the Most High. I'm like, hey, why am I in here? You know, show me what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Why am I locked up in this spot? And you know, I always had long hair and stuff like that. But you're gonna see what I'm saying when I get to the point. You know, I get to it. So I'm locked. I'm sitting up in that jail, and I said, "Show me what do you want me to do? What's the problem?" And then I kept having dreams the whole 3 days I was in there. So I'm sitting up here, man. I say, yeah. When I was in there them 3 days, he kept showing me in dreams. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself together, nigga. You know what you doing? And then, so that third day, I was in there. I said, yeah. Well, I said, Most High, y'all, I do whatever you want me to do. Just let me up out of here. Man, I was in there. I didn't have nothing but a DUI. Well, it was second offense DUI. See, I had the first offense. But, that was a couple years before that. It wasn't off my record, though. You know what I'm saying? So I had the second offense DUI. I went up in there. I was locked up, and I was supposed to. I had the money in my pocket to bond out. They won't let me bond out. I got locked up on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, I tell you what, Mosai, you let me out of here. I do whatever you want me to do. I serve you. I do whatever. So I opened the Bible up and turned it, and I just opened it up. And it was right there, the book of Jonah. And then you read the book of Jonah, you see how he was running from the Most High, and he was locked in the belly of the fish for 3 days, 3 nights. Then after he, you know what I'm saying, then after he submitted, the Most High let him, the fish vomited him out on land. Then he ran to the people of Nineveh and, told them what the Most High wanted to tell him. So when I seen that, I said, all right, Most High, I do whatever you say. I do your will. I won't, live like this, blah, 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 blah. They would not give me a bond before then, man, and I had the money in my pocket. My old girl couldn't even bond me out. There wasn't nothing. I had the money to get the car she got the car at the pound, you know what I'm saying? And then, but they wouldn't let her bond me. They wouldn't give me a bond. As soon as I did that, guess 5 minutes later, people came and said, all right, hey, let's roll it up. You up out of here, man. 5 minutes later. It wasn't but 5 minutes, man. And I was up out of there. She was outside to pick me up, bummed me out and gave my money. I gave her money right back. Bummed me out and get the car out of the pound and everything. So that's what happened. It's a lot more I got to say, but I'm gonna have to let you hear that on Tales from the Sipp, episode 73. My testimony, episode 8. But I'll see you later. This is Tales from the Sipp, episode 72. My testimony, episode 7, right? Yeah. Be on the lookout for episode 8. Tales from the Sipp, episode 73. Peace out. Yes, sir.
That's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes your boy may go way back in the day, talk about experiences and the games that he played. And that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Hey.